Welcome to Biotech Stage. This is Arun Singhal. Today's video is a second video in two video series that I started few days ago. The first video was on different job responsibilities for biotechnology. For in biotechnology, people who are entering into the workforce with bachelor's degree, master's degree, or even PhD, or people who have few years of experience and are switching the job. So I described the different job responsibilities in the first video, and in today's video, which is my second video, I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to guide you on making sure that once you get a letter for the job interview, how you can excel on that job interview, what are the things you need to pay attention to, and what are the things that you can do. There is a very good probability that job will be offered to you. So let's just get started. So very first one I am going to discuss about the R&D jobs. So for R&D jobs, as you can see on the screen, the very first thing that you need to know is what kind of business is this. The people who are going to interview you, are they working at the drug discovery company, meaning they are working on MAb, working towards a novel MAb or biosimilar or cell and gene therapy, or they are a services company. Services company means they are the contract manufacturing company, making a large scale prep for any mammalian cell culture to produce a desired amount of protein, or they are analytical company, meaning they are services and they are trying to analyze a particular protein through different analytical tests. So, and once you know that, you need to pay attention to what their basic research is, or they are focusing on process development, because a lot of CDMO, CMO companies, they focus mainly on the process development and the manufacturing. And besides the drug discovery, are they making reagents, instruments, or labwares? Because those are the company are also hiring for R&D people. Especially in the reagents, there are companies that are producing media for different mammalian cells, CHO cells, hybridoma cells, and they are continuously trying to update their formulation for better outcome, for better productivity, more protein and more glycosylation and all those things. So they are also hiring a lot of people for R&D. And also know their core technology. There are drug discovery company who may be focusing on every single aspect, but at the same time there may be some other drug discovery company who are maybe focusing on just one particular core technology, and that for example, some of them may be focusing only on the high producer cell line, not necessarily on the high producer cell line, not necessarily focusing on all other things. Their focus will be just on one aspect, and all other aspect they would be outsourcing the research. Try to know what their core competence is, and how would you know that? I'll come to that in a second. And protein characterization for analytical, are they focusing on the protein characterization? I mean, what they are focusing on, that's what is their core technology. That's something you need to focus on. And why you need to do all those things. You need to find the key strength in your resume to align with theirs, because you may have 20 different things on your resume which are excellent, but the thing that matters to them is what strength matches with theirs. If you have grown CHO cells, are they growing CHO cells? If you have done some protein characterization, are they doing protein characterization or not? So that is very important. The next thing is that know their product pipeline. I mean, if they are in research, obviously they are working towards a product, and their website should have this information. What is their product pipeline? What they intend to produce? At what stage they are? And this will give you some also information on what kind of technology they are using, and memorize some of those products or product that are in pipeline. Try to memorize some of them. That will come very handy when somebody would be asking a question from you on their core competence, their core technology, and you would be able to do better at the time of interview. And also know their recent publications. And why? The recent publication has good amount of information about what instruments they are using, what technology they are using, especially in the materials and methods section. You may not need to focus on the whole publication, but just try to understand who has authored that paper and what materials and method they are using and what is their conclusion. So that would come very handy at the time of your job interview. And again, try to connect your experience with at least one or two of their products, whether they are already commercialized, or whether they are in development state, doesn't matter, but try to connect your experience with at least one or two of their products. Okay, now let's focus on the next thing about the R&D jobs. Know which conference they participated in and why you want to know that. I mean, most of these companies are attending conferences, whether in India or outside India, and they are talking about it. So know which conference they participated in. That is very important, because that will give you some information about what information is in the public knowledge, because at the conference they are going to talk about only those things that are non confidential and that anybody and everybody is free to know. And this is also important, because at the time of your job interview they are not going to discuss anything confidential. They are going to only discuss things that are in public domain. They are in public knowledge. So if you also know well in advance what information is in public knowledge, I can guarantee you, you would do better at the time of a job interview. So try to focus on what conferences they attended and what information they, especially if they gave any seminar, so what information they gave in the seminar, and try to know some of the names from those seminars or the conferences, and research on LinkedIn, and see what is important to them, because that's what they are going to talk on their LinkedIn profile and other public social media sites. And this is very important. Research their website. I mean, I can't say more on that, but researching the website is very important. And sometimes website has so much of information, anybody can get confused what to focus, what not to focus on. So I think, in for your perspective, I think you try to focus on what equipment they are using. Sometimes they show the pictures of their manufacturing area, the pictures of their R&D lab. So try to focus what instruments they are using, what equipments they are using, and try to make some connections in case you have used the same equipment, same instrument, or same technology. So try to make connections. So again, the purpose is try to make a connection with what they are currently using, currently using, with what you have done and what you have used in past. And yeah, that's what I just mentioned. Try to make connection with your background, with their science. And a lot of people have experience in the cell culture at this time, and biotechnology is 99% of the time they are going to use some sort of cell culture, whether it is mammalian cells, insect cells, bacterial cells, but they are going to use us, or in some cases cell and gene therapy, human cells, T cells. So cell culture experience is very useful. And protein folding, I mean, if they are biosimilar or novel MAbs, the how protein is characterized, especially in terms of their glycan profile, that's very important. If you have done that, that becomes very relevant. And different instruments, I mean, the science is so advanced, and more instruments you know about, better it is for a job perspective. So know that. And product development phase, I mean, if as I mentioned before, if they are doing something and the molecule is already in the development phase, try to find out if they are early cell line development phase, meaning they are still working on the different cell line and trying to select a stable clone, or they are already have selected a clone, they are in process development phase or manufacturing. So that is important, and try to make connections with those. And if you need more details on any of those points, please let me know, and I can let me know on the comment section. I can respond to those comments and try to help you as much as possible, or let me know if you need any other video on any particular section. Okay, now I come to marketing jobs. So, what if you are trying to get a job in marketing section? So, this is very important. Know their products, because if they are trying to find a person for marketing, that means they already have a product to sell, product to launch. So, know their products and their catalog numbers if it is already listed. And this is very important, because knowing per catalog number is not just to show that you know that. This shows that you are very much interested and you are passionate about it, and you are doing all of your homework as much as possible to show your interest. So know your catalog number, and if you could also know how the product works. I mean, nowadays there are so many YouTube videos, so much of information is available online, that you can try to know at least, just not all of them, but just one or two products, how they work, and how they can make a better outcome whenever the product is used, and how they market the products. The marketing is about bringing the product knowledge in front of the customers. And if you want to know what exactly marketing people do, please watch my first video, because in that video I have discussed in detail the 10 different job responsibilities for marketing associates. So that video will give you a very good idea. So try to see what brochure, social media posts, advertisement they have published in past, and also try to in those videos try to understand what is the distinctive feature they are trying to highlight, because each product, when a company launches, their objective is that it is going to meet a unmet need of the customers. So other products may be in the market, but they are not good at one point or another. So a new product will fulfill that requirement, will fulfill that need. So try to find out that distinctive feature of any product, and know their recent launches, what recent launches, if they have any, what they have done. And so keep a copy of their recent ad. That will come very handy. That will come very handy. And please try to also know what conferences they participated in, because most of the time the conferences companies use to launch their products, talk about their products. So once you know which conferences they attended, it will be easier for you to understand which product they talked about and which product are important for them. Okay, so now let's see, and research their website. Just like R&D jobs, for marketing job also, it is very important to know the research their website. And for marketing jobs, research the website, not necessarily to understand what products they are, how they are making the product, but to understand their different divisions, marketing units. Because some companies, I mean, especially the big companies, they have a large life sciences division, they could have large academic division, or different divisions to tackle a particular market segment. So, and understanding this will help you in having a smoother job interview. And if there is a smoother job interview, I'm sure you will make a bigger impression, and chances for getting the job will be much higher. And this is my suggestion. There is no need to give the product feedback, how well it works. I mean, what you have heard about the product. You can casually mention, especially if it is positive. Otherwise, there is no need to mention on the product performance feedback. And there is no need to compare with the competition at this stage. And this is a very complicated topic. How the product compares with the competition. There are so many parameters, and ideal comparison is when there is a apple to apple comparison, there when there is a similar comparison. So it is better to avoid comparing with the competition. And this is important. A wet lab experience may not be really important for marketing job, because in marketing obviously you are not going to work on bench, so wet lab experience may not be necessary. But understanding the science, how the product works, how it was developed, will be very useful. So even if you don't have wet lab experience, try to focus on the marketing jobs, because, and as long as you understand the science, it will be easier. Now comes to sales job. So in sales job, again, know their products, and try to understand the features of at least two products, and how they work, how they life little bit easier for users, whether it is a media, or whether it is a equipment, or whether it is a reagent, or whether it is a full-fledged MAb. So try to understand that. And it is also very important to know their part numbers, at least for one or two of them. It just shows that you are very passionate about their products, and you are very much interested. And also try to understand where those products are being used or could be used, if they are already being used, where they are being used, or where those products, new products, could be used. And publications, if you go through with their publications, especially the materials and method section, that can give you very good information about if they used any of those products. And know your core strength in making calls and connections and visits. This is very important because in the sales, but one of the major responsibility is to making calls to customers, making connections to sell more products, and making personal visits, face to face visits with the customers. So know your strength. How can you do that? What are you good at? I mean, are you good in making phone calls? Are you making good in face to face connection? Can you start the conversation? All those things will come very handy. So make sure you work on uh, on your follow up strength as well, because once you make a one contact, you send the sample, you send the product, you need to follow up, especially in the sales. So how you follow up, that is also very important. And just like marketing, wet lab experience may not be necessary because you are not going to work on bench, but it is important to understand how the science works, because all these are scientific products. And research their website, and just like any other job, try to know at least two or three competition companies. Just the names would be good enough. And 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 if you want to know more competitor products with some specific, that would come very handy if you could know. But at least if you know the name of the company, that is also good enough. The actually fourth section, manufacturing job. So in manufacturing, the very first thing that is very important is the value of SOPs, standard operating procedure. Manufacturing does the same thing again and again on an everyday basis. If they are making a large batch of cells to make a particular protein, they will follow exactly same thing in a great detail. So know the value of SOPs. If you want to change something, it is not very easy. So I mean, before you go into the manufacturing, make sure that you understand that you need to do every single day same thing again and again. And know what techniques you have done in that resembles manufacturing. Again, as I mentioned, that in biotechnology everything is done by the cell culture. So understand cell culture, I mean how the media is prepared, whether it is a classical media or whether it is a specialty media, the animal free or protein free media, specialty media for CHO cells, hybridoma cells, or any other cells they are using, how the media is made, how the general maintenance on the equipments, because you are going to use the exactly same equipment every single day. And cell, if you have done any cell culture lab maintenance, central facility, that would come very handy for manufacturing jobs. And making detailed notes, I mean, how you do. Make sure that you know the value of making detailed notes. And GMP understanding, it's a good manufacturing practices to make sure that the product is made with the same quality every single time without any mistakes. So if you want to know more about GMP, please send me your comment, and I can create another video on GMP. Okay, and then again, research their website, and for manufacturing job, you research their website just to know. Sometimes they show their manufacturing area, and just to know what kind of equipments they are using. Are they using 100 liter or 1,000 liter or 10,000 liter? How big the equipments are, or instruments? That will give you some good idea if you focus only on the equipment instruments when you research their website. So now comes to the final part on the day of the interview. Make sure that before day of the interview, make sure that you rehearse it. Role playing. I mean, you find a friend or somebody who can just become an interviewer, and he asks you questions. So make sure that you rehearse it several times. And if you need my help on it, please let me know. And if possible, record your rehearsal and listen and try to see where you can make improvements. That will come very handy, and that will be a great way to improve on your interview skills. And if you can improve on your interview skills, believe me, this will be a sort of a almost a guaranteed thing that you will get a job. So that's all about this particular video. If you have any questions, send me the comments, and and let me know if you want me to create any other video on similar aspect. Thank you.